Behold your eyes, the Waifu Labs Lounge. The Labs Lounge is dedicated to researching who you call waifus. They are fictional female characters, but you get attached to them to an extent. The eye-catching female characters are great in design and great to get to know. Even developers can be aware of how greatly attractive and appealing they make their waifus. But we know you have curious questions, and here are some examples. Does anyone see their waifu in their dreams, or does one dream of the vision of their ideal waifu? Anyone had a crush on a video game lady during childhood? How many waifu figurines does one have? When you are hard, does one go hands-free and rub upon the shower wall? If such the case, I don't see it as a big deal as long as one is careful. That said, why not? Does anyone have packets of sugar? My coffee came with none. These are examples of curious questions asked by many. Here at the Labs Lounge, we go through fictional maidens and examine. We find out what makes them lovable and enlightening to one's neurons. We strive to find the answer as to why waifus gets them so hard they rather go hands-free and use the shower wall. The Waifu Labs Lounge. You love her, and you love to see her when she's on the screen. Our duty is to explore the lady who is not real, but exists in a video game, and we show why you love that lady from that one video game. The Waifu Labs Lounge.
I'm not even kidding, bro. Like, the ladies in this game, my goodness, I never thought people would go all out on the ladies in this game. Yeah, but you, went out of your own way to, spend how much? Friggin' $70? You crazy? No, the game's actually got that crazy to the point where I got driven into, spending that money. You have to stop and think. You should take a look at, the swimsuit outfits and the banner characters. I do see what you're, trying to get at here. Is it, did they really actually went that all out? Is that how... hold on for a minute. I gotta go check. It really just, goes toe-to-toe with, Queen's Blade. Got the complete collection. But, my goodness. Think of... Oh, man, when I saw, going back to, Queen's Blade, when I checked out this, this pink-haired pirate lady, I was like, oh my goodness, my long-lost love. And I was like, wow. Yeah, but it's a free-to-play game. It's a gacha game. You don't need to go that far. All you just need to do is just grind the single-player campaign that you've been procrastinating. And then also you have I got the first 2 volumes. I'm wondering where the 3rd volume is, the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. Yeah, I'm getting, I'm kind of expecting, an anime adaptation for that at that point. Oh, hold on for a minute. I actually just... You just brought up Queen's Blade, whatever happened to, the anime series itself? I know there's that browser game. Okay, now that we're, in the same level right now, go check out the game, see for yourself, check out the latest news about the game, the upcoming banner, the upcoming characters, the upcoming skins. You're gonna see why. Yeah, I'll do that when I get the chance. Hey, I gotta go, because my phone battery's low, so see ya. Alright, peace. Alright. Good. Alright. Goodning. Gotta get my... Alright, I need... God damn, I'm hard. Fuck it. What the hell are you doing in my... What the hell are you doing in my house? You're out of your fucking mind! What the fuck? Police! Police!
What's up, my Blazy Glazers? My name is Blaze Glaze, and welcome to the Blaze Glaze Commentary Show. Today, we're going to be talking about the news. So today, we got like a really spicy one. It's insane, to say the least. It's just crazy. It involves a Karen, and it was already crazy that it is. Like, before we dive into it, it's just crazy. Like, I saw it in, like, the news, but I can't remember where it happened, but it didn't happen where I was at. So, yeah. So, you have this Karen that's been inviting herself and basically barging into other people's homes. From one neighborhood to another neighborhood, there's been like multiple police reports on her already. Cops were already on her tail. They identified the suspect and basically found that. And when they went and tracked her down, she was basically about to go into the neighborhood, and it was the first house that she barged into. Boy, she found out after she fucked around. You know, when it comes to situations like this, you don't really need a gun. Yeah, it's a crazy thing to know. All you need to do is a naked guy standing in a shower, and that's what happened. This is according to the police reports. So this Karen decides to basically, like, barge into this one man's house. 2 seconds later, she, like, basically entered in his room upstairs and basically found the owner of the house, like, butt naked. It wasn't like he was, like, laying in his bed butt naked. He was about, like, take a shower or something. But, however, this Karen made a mistake. Not only did she barge in on a naked guy, but she freaking barged in with cops basically on her tail. They actually caught her. They caught her red-handed in 4K. They caught her. So the cop that caught her basically followed her in, ready to arrest her. Basically, 2 seconds later, there was, like, screaming. The cop had to basically, like, rush through the door. It was like, hey, freeze, you're under arrest for, like, barging into people's houses. There's a lot of confusion going on from left and right. Like, the owner of the house is, like, confused, too, and freaked out at the same time. Like, so this Karen, being caught, she lost her shit. She just basically, like, flew out of the man's window, the bedroom window, and basically landed on the floor. And continued to kind of run with some limping, because she kind of hurt herself when she jumped off. But yeah, she's been on the run. Like, the cop called for backup, and basically the cop wanted to basically make sure that the owner of the house is okay and he's doing fine and whatnot. And then the Karen, 30 minutes later, she pulls out a camera and records herself crying and losing her shit, and it was, like, pretty wild. So she posted this on, like, TikTok, and, like, she was crying, saying that no one is to be trusted. Your lives are constantly in danger. You can't trust anyone from within a 100-mile radius. It's like, dude, you barged into somebody's house, and you spotted a man naked. What do you think was gonna happen, dude? So basically, it's like, oh, I just walked in uninvited and I found this man naked. People are up to no good. It's like, nah, you invited yourself into other people's houses and started barging in because you're, like, suspicious of everybody around you. Like, are you out of your mind? And then you ran in and just found someone naked in his shower. What do you think was gonna happen? So everybody on the internet basically found out who she was. They know what happened here. They know what's going on. She's on the chase. And she's about to be featured on the news 2 seconds from now. So she basically admitted to barging into other people's houses, which is kind of a big deal. It's really big. Call it shocking, but it is kind of nice to take responsibility. And then she goes on and says about how she saw some naked guy rubbing one out, but using the shower wall. He was rubbing his Johnson up in the shower wall. So from her side of the story, she's basically saying that the guy was basically doing
both the police report and her basically said he was in his own shower, so that kind of adds up. I mean, hey, it's your home. Do what the hell you want. I mean, you bought the house. I mean, you have the right to accidentally do hand tricks with your cousin. But then she goes to this street corner where, there's a lot of loose ladies that are known to, offer their bodies for a night. Okay, and then get this. She has the audacity to scream the same thing that she's been saying on the TikTok video. And basically, she was basically kind of like setting off the ladies, because they're trying to basically get their bank. They're trying to get their bank, while they're basically trying to give trying to give it out while they're trying to get their bank. And they're basically feeling like she's scaring the customers. So one of them was basically like telling her to like stop, and she's like still going and going and going until that same lady decided to just pull out a fucking sharp object and then basically like poke her. I'm trying to like water down my wordplay so I don't get like demonetized and stuff. But like she poked her so hard, like she was oozing out. She was like oozing out. So when the cops managed to basically show up, and because the very minute the sirens came out, the ladies were just like scattering. But however, when the cops were basically looking for the Karen, they found the Karen like totally out of it for good. And I mean for good. They actually confirmed she got herself poked out so bad she's like in more than a coma forever. Like the Sopranos ending. It like, boop, fade to black. Credit roll. So, moral of the story, don't barge into other people's house unless you want a site that you really don't want. And then if the cops catch you, you're about to go to jail for like trespassing, breaking and entering, like that kind of stuff. Like it's actually a crime. Like it's a really insane story. I tell you what, a very insane story, I tell you that. So I was like watching the whole story while I was going ahead eating my breakfast. I was eating like some cereal. And yeah, I was like, you know what, I need to go out and get some more milk, and especially more milk for cereal. I like to stock up on milk, so that way there will always be more milk from left to right. I'm not worried too much about stocking up on milk since I kind of go through milk fast. Like I said, not too fast, but like right before the expiration date, the milk ends up being gone, so good thing. Like it's not just cereal. I make like protein shakes and there's also smoothies. So I ended up going to the grocery store, get milk, get back and put the milk in the fridge, and then ended up wondering about how I'm going to go about my dinner. So I decided to be like, okay, you know what? I'll go for pizza and wings. Hey, good thing I bought the milk. So anyway, this Friday, I'm going to be playing Content Warning with my friends. So me and the squad's going to be playing Content Warning. We're going to be having a good time with it. So yeah. Anyway, with that totally said, that's all. See you guys later, and I hope you guys have a good time throughout your days, and yeah, get blazing like a laser. Keep blazing like a laser. See ya.
Thank you. Have a nice day. I had to go ahead and get a meal from a local fast food joint. Figured I went ahead and get me like a chicken sandwich. Thank you for opening the door for me. Wait for my cab driver. I need to go set this down somewhere. So apparently it's been brought to my attention that there's been an incident that happened around my vicinity where somebody was inviting herself into homes across multiple neighborhoods. The cops were on a trail and she barged into one last house before she saw something not pretty. She lost her mind and... However, she was caught in the act by police. She jumped out of a window, started running. On the run, she would occasionally throw like a tantrum where she basically saying lots of strange obscenities, off-putting obscenities at best. Watched a commentary video about that. It's not pretty. Someone wanted to say something to me, so I paused the recording. Turns out, didn't want anything to do with me. Guess I could keep going. She was throwing a tantrum about what she saw. She was going on and on about some guy rubbing his private area up on a shower wall in his own shower. Those are expected consequences. That's the thing we have to understand. But I need to pause. But ever since that incident, I feel like more on high alert. It's been brought to attention. I figured I had to go warn administration at my secondary job. My secondary job has been difficult than ever. I had to wander back and forth between the office and lab to get revised versions of this script. And one even slipped past my sight until it was too late. I don't know what happened, but I noticed people arguing over each other and people putting in out of nowhere comments. And I think ever since that incident, we need to be careful. Very careful. Meaning we have to tone it down with the fighting. We have to tone it down with the out of nowhere dialogues. We have to be careful with almost everything, for it's too late and we get in trouble. The last thing I need is hell breaking loose at my secondary workplace. I think I have to tell the administrators to we all need to be careful, we all need to handle things. But we also need to basically address things, whether it's grammar or some unknown dialogues, very carefully, and more politely, less louder, more productive, more formal. Something. Okay, maybe I'm asking too much, but maybe a little more peaceful. I think going forward we have to be careful before it leads into a major situation and things go haywire from here. We have to be careful going forward. Ever since this situation made its way to the news, I feel like there's something going on. Something's ending up happening. It probably could generate something. Speaking of, my cab driver happens to be my coworker. What a shock. I was hoping to get something from Uber or Lyft, but turns out he offered a ride. He was heading towards the same place I'm heading to. My secondary job. I have to warn the administrators fast, before it's too late. Alright. And the dialogue, he's near. He's here. I'll have to end that dialogue.
Diagnosis of... Hello, and welcome to the Waifu Labs Lounge. And yes, this is our meeting. And today we're going to be talking about the Gamerman's Lounge and our collaborations, considering the fact that the Gamerman's Lounge is beginning to come back from its filler vacation, and we have already made debut with our first two presentations. This eventually means that the Waifus of Gaming and the Waifus of Gaming Traversaire will be coming back after a break. And with that totally said, this is where we're coming in. This is where we're collaborating with Gamerman's Lounge. This is where we're urging Gamerman's Lounge to make new submissions from left and right. And this is where we also inform our workers of sending in their submissions from left and right. So that way we can combine together and get plenty of Waifus of Gaming episodes and Waifus of Gaming Traversaire episodes on the back burner. If you are near us, we have 2 recording booths that will be dedicated for making additional comments. So feel free to utilize these 2 booths should you have questions or anything to add. Also, we are available to be communicated with through text. You could shoot us a text through our number. You could shoot us a text through the form that we have posted up on our kiosk, our tablet kiosks. Okay, with that off the chest, let's get right on going to our concerns. The Labs Lounge has urged Gamerman's Lounge that there are characters from IPs that we've yet to touch on and long since touched on, and we need that addressed ASAP. And yes, let us talk about for example, let's say characters from IPs that are not free-to-play gacha games, which has been commonly discussed about when it comes to the Waifus of Gaming and Waifus of Gaming Traversaire. The good news here is that we began to make a first step, and with that totally said, we're glad that we did make that first step. Now, this is going to be related into what I'm about to talk about next. And now, here is the additional comment in the form of a question. So, are we going to do the other IPs? Absolutely, we are going to do the other IPs. We have brought up multiple IPs, brought it to the attention of the Gamerman's Lounge. The Gamerman's Lounge is looking into those other IPs and will be submitting to us. We have people in our meeting call that should not be muted at all. We have no idea why did one mute themselves. We do not mind the background noise. The background noise is going to be essentially filtered out. I am wearing an additional headset. Please don't mute yourself. Now there is an exception, and I do have a question from within the chat box of our meeting. Is it okay if I go ahead and grab a bite to eat? Not a problem. Not a problem. You already made the announcement in the chat. It's all good. We know what happened. So as long as you say something, just don't mute yourself. And just communication is essential. Okay, the guy unmuted himself. Basically said, sorry. Had to basically check a source of a noise that was going on. Okay, that makes sense. If you communicated something in the first place, that's absolutely fine. Like I said with the last guy, as long as you communicate into the chat box, we will understand. Don't just go and just mute yourself without explanation. That'd be great. And we have an additional comment in bringing up a hack and slash title with a female protagonist that looks, oh yes, I do find her familiar. There is an updated version of that with additional content. I do want to go ahead and check into that. Now, when we review our waifus, we kind of review the physical appearance. And pretty much, I think the Labs Lounge should also focus on the outfits, because when it comes to the outfits do a good job at presenting the waifu's body. And when it comes to the waifu's body, we have been used to reviewing the chest, midriff, and thighs, how milky the breasts, how the midriff looks great, the tummy, just how you want to stick your finger into that belly button of that tummy. And then when it comes to the thighs, how thick the thighs are, listing off examples from my head, from the top of my head. But also, we will want to go through when it comes to the physical activity that can pretty much kind of show more off in a waifu. There's also the outfits, such as swimsuits, sweater outfits that can basically anything that is essentially skin tight. Okay, like say latex or something like that. We have our cleavage windows. All right, we do have basically the thigh presentation. So we're basically expanding into that, but we're also looking
Additional
into
comment
the personalities, the quirks, the charms.
They never
of the
stop and
waifu.
think about the
So
people
we're
that will listen in
expanding
on them
further,
over their
further
walls.
in on the
Rereading
waifu
the
from
additional
left and
comment.
right, and that's gonna be
The
the
additional
thing.
comment in question
Now, what we
comes
have
out
up in our
suspicious.
intro
Please
display
check your
is
surroundings
essentially the
from
elf
left and
girl
right.
that was
Alert,
discovered
alert,
during work
alert,
on the second
alert,
presentation.
alert.
for
An
Waifu
unwelcome
Labs
party
Lounge
has
on
been
elf
confirmed.
girls.
Please
And
pause
with
all
that totally
activities.
said, hold
Be
on.
rid of the unwelcome party before you continue on.
Right.
This
Okay.
is an urgently
I think
recommended
this is
action
not good.
for the sake
This is
of
not
your
good.
privacy
Everybody,
and
this is not
confidentiality.
good.
Warning, warning. This is an urgent announcement. This is heavily regarding the Labs Lounge. The Waifu Labs Lounge will not be active for a total of 5 days. This is due to maintenance following further developed security protocols. We encourage our workers to refrain from duties and take a break. After the 5-day break, we will train workers to better protect themselves and ensure privacy and free of obstacle work environments.